What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. Thanks for joining me again on this YouTube Wednesday. I'm here to talk about how you should not limit yourself in terms of timing. And what I mean by that is everybody knows with whether it's hip hop or house music or different various forms of popular dance music, it's on the 4 and 4. And I want to talk about ways where you can stay within the 4 and 4 beat, but just changing things up slightly with 3-bar loops. And 3-bar loops fascinate me because they break you away from the conventional thinking of what your ears and your mind actually are expecting, because for so long we've been conditioned through popular music that there's got to be so many even bars at the intro, and then the verse is this long, and then the chorus is this long, and then you get back into the main verse and then out of the song in terms of what's on popular radio and even some underground music productions where a specific formula was followed. So when it comes to the 3-bar loop, it just fascinates me because of its close relationship with different types of music, whether it be Arabic music or other world type of music, and I guess more contemporary or more commercially here in North America, jazz would be the closest thing where these musicians would always play with time. And I think the first time I've heard a 3-bar loop was Tribe Called Quest's Lyrics to Go, then Electric Relaxation. And Q-Tip is a masterful producer because he plays with your ears that way, and you know it's different, and your mind is trying to figure out why. I mean, as a musician and a producer, I can spot these things easily now, but it's really helped me sculpt my approach when I want to do something different and I hear a 3-bar loop in a sample that I'm working through. I'm going to go for that loop. So I'm going to actually take you through a remix I did for Demarkus Lewis's Shuffleboard, and I was messing around with a sample that I chopped up, and I heard some really good parts for 3-bar loops, and because it's going to be an all vinyl release, I thought this would be a really good opportunity to do things differently. And some of you guys may have seen recently Mark Farina playing it out. I think he was in Atlanta most recently playing the track, and he was all over. He's like, he really likes it because it's, the bass line is crazy, but I actually think he probably likes it because it's so different, because of just the way that the timing works. And you don't hear a lot of 3-bar music in house music or techno or whatever, and I'm trying to do more and more of that. When it comes to this remix, I didn't take much of Demarkus's original parts because I think remixes should really be exactly that, an interpretation of the song. So I took a few pieces. He had a nice sample in there, a freak sample, and I'll get back to that in a bit. But this is mainly after I heard his original briefly. And that's the other thing with remixes, is that don't drown yourself in the original and compare your shit to the original track. It's just kind of pointless. I mean, the only time I've listened to the original is just to make sure I don't do the same thing, and it doesn't take long to establish what are the things that were done in the original, and then I'm not trying to compare mine to it. It's my interpretation, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Alright, so let's get into it. So here's the sample. I chopped it up. There's a lot of various parts. Kind of staying in that same groove. This was the part that got me. I didn't actually I don't think I used it in the main lick, but I might have used it to get away from certain parts of the main groove. But this is the main groove right here. So you can hear the 3 bars immediately, right? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, So I knew a nice part of that could be used for a good 3-bar loop. There are other parts here I think I use actually for for other songs, but what I generally tend to do is when I get into the main groove, I'm here and just listening to it and I'm like, okay, what do I hear from it? What key is it in? So I mess around with it. So it's an F, so right here. So I know all that's gonna work. Then I just play along it. So once I figure out what key it's in, everything kind of just falls into place. Like I need a chord structure to be something like and I knew it would be easy to, once I had the chord progression down, to find the bass line attached to it. Like this whole thing about this, the timing, let's just give it a listen here in the actual remix with the 3 bars. Let's find a different part. One, 2, 3. Again, because it's 3 bars, it's a little different, but the whole premise of the 4/4 is still there. That defines what a bar is. I think Deadmau5 calls this whole thing resolving. I'm sure there's another technical term for it that the most esteemed musicians would know about, but it just has to sound like it makes sense. And you could hear it's just straight. That's all it is. And if we play it back, then I just added some percussion. We'll find another part of the track here. Because I knew what key it was in, I knew I could do some variations on the sample to, again, keep things interesting. So I think I just took it an octave up. So it's the main groove is here. Again, all in the same key, so you're just building around it because the timing's taking care of itself. It's just 3 bars, but it's still 4 to the floor. So let's just gradually build stuff in. Let's start with the main loop here. Check it. Beat break courtesy Kerry Chandler. Add in Demarkus's freak vocal. It'll be coming up. A little bit of percussion. Chorus. Very, very subtle, but it's there. Chords again. Time for the bass line.
bit on the bass line part. Again, knowing what key things are so critical, because it just opens you up to what sort of chord progressions you can do. You can find other notes to keep things interesting. And with the bass line, I knew I can add some kind of Latin elements, some samba elements to it, because I knew, in terms of a timing, it would just work. So I'm just going to play the bass line. Shut the main loop off. Sounds really dirty. I think I got it going through a little distortion. And that's really all there is to it. Again, it's the 4 to the floor, signifying what a bar is, keeps things together in the groove, and you just continue building around that. I just encourage that we all just continue to explore different ways of doing things, whether it be remixes or in our creative process, and don't worry about a specific formula, because if you're getting it, somebody else will get it and feel it. Unless it's absolutely way out there, I think the possibilities are endless, and encourage that we continue to do it. So that's my tutorial on the 3-bar loops and the Shuffleboard remix, the original by my main man Demarkus, coming out on High Energy Records, vinyl release only. Thanks again for joining me. Peace.